You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you'll get with this, cause this is where it's at. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you'll get with this, cause this is where it's at. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you'll get with this, cause this is where it's at. You can get with this.
And what's up, everybody, and welcome back. We are here to talk about Wakanda Forever. I'm Kobe Roy, and I can't do it without the crew. You all know them. My man, Hollywood DA. What's going on, brother?
Not much, chilling. Ready to jump into this. It's Wakanda, Black Panther, really the only Marvel feature film I've been looking forward to all year, as far as like the movies. So
yeah,
I'm ready to jump into it.
Yeah, man, let's do that, man. But we can't do that without my man Feet Dom 202. What's going on?
I'm 202 DDA representative. I was kind of I was on the fence about this movie, not before I watched it, because I didn't know what direction they were gonna go without Chadwick Boseman, But let's get into it.
All right. Well, look, before we get into it, I just want everybody to know really quick, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And as I always say, if you watch more than 2 of our videos, go ahead and hit that like button. So every time we come with a review or reaction, you can take this ride with us. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to go around the horn on everybody's overall thoughts. Phenom, since you were the last one that started, what were your overall thoughts on the film, just in general, and what did you like most about the film?
It was a beautiful film, like the cinematography, the wardrobe. It was colorful. They got it on point with that. Not gonna lie, it was fresh.
All right. What about you, Ali? What was your overall thoughts of the film?
My overall thoughts, I enjoyed it, man. It was solid. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely solid. The way they had, they had a serious subject. You know what I'm saying? They had to work around with the, the untimely death of Chadwick. So I thought they handled that well. And just then going forward from there, I thought the film it was a solid movie, man. I can't lie, it was solid. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. I feel a little bad because me being the comic book person that I am, I normally really come in here very optimistic about a movie. And I have to say, I like the movie and I think it is a good movie, but I did have some issues with it. I did have some issues with it, which as we go into more about this, we'll definitely talk about. So let's get some of the main things out of the way. What, Phenom, you said you liked the way the movie looked. What other things in this film did you actually like? If you had to analyze the film, what is the thing that you like the most? And then we'll go into the things that we like the least, because I definitely have some things on that list for me.
I do have that too. The story wasn't a bad story. You know what I'm saying? I know you're the comic book dude. I'm like in the middle. Ollie's on the other side of the pendulum. I like Namor.
Yeah.
He had a legit reason to beef with the Wakandans, You know what I'm saying? And I will, I'm Wakandan all day and day, but he had a good reason,
Yeah.
The story was really good.
Yeah. Well, let's get into that. Let's talk about some of the characters. And that's the first one, we'll talk about really quick. What about Namor? So, Ali, what was your overall thoughts on Namor? What did you think about him in this overall film?
I thought it was good. They set up a good backstory for him and came in. I don't know about the motherfucking wings on this Achilles ankles type shit. I was like, that shit was kind of corny, And that's how he flew. Them little wings.
That's how he was in the comics, yes.
That's how he flew. So for that, I thought that part was a little corny. But beyond that, he had a solid background. A solid story. So I wasn't mad at that at all.
Yeah, I definitely like Namor. I think the actor that played Namor is fantastic. And I like the change of his backstory a little bit. I did realize that they did not call it Atlantis or the Atlanteans. They were God, I can't remember the name. I'm blanking right now, but they were the Talagons, or I'm sorry, I don't want to mispronounce it, but they were another race of people, but I did like that. And the wings on his feet, that is straight out of the comics.
Why y'all stop talking?
You said something.
You said something.
You said something.
Honestly, you know what? No, I ain't to lie, man. Noah came in the room. I thought I muted myself. I thought I muted myself because he's in the room. Y'all go ahead.
So Namor with the wings on his feet, that's straight out of the comics. And I actually really liked how they utilized the wings on his feet. I thought that was pretty dope. All right, so let's go with the first thing on everybody's list. Let's get the elephant out of the room. Phenom, how did you feel about how they did with the death of Chadwick Boseman? Hey, Noah, what's going on?
What's up, Noah? Bye-bye. I thought they handled it well, yo. They gave a nice homage to him, a fitting farewell. Everybody was in Wakandan white. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, I'm glad they got it out the way. You know, he kind of lingered over the film, but not in a major way. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, towards the end, we get to see a real big reveal. Yeah. But no, I'm glad they had the funeral at the beginning. People were mourning. I mean, I did like the fact that she was trying to save him at the beginning. Like, it went right to it. Like, she was trying to find a cure, all that stuff, and she couldn't. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's kind of what happened in real life, yo. Yeah.
Yeah, I did think that they played it real close to real life. But Ollie, I'll go with you, man. How did you feel about how they handled the death of Chadwick?
I mean, they handled it. I thought they handled it well, and like, you know what I'm saying, it almost paralleled real life, because she was talking about how, like, why didn't he tell me? Like, I could have been trying to think of something to save him, and that's kind of like how it all hit us. Not that we could, like, we doctors or nothing, but it was just like, damn, yo, you ain't say nothing. Like, I mean, and that's definitely his personal decision, which I respect completely. You know what I mean? That's something, you know, let's keep that. If you want to keep that with your inner circle, I mean, that's HIPAA
compliance, yo.
I mean, like, nah. But it was but you know, but just even that parallel, like, was good. And then, I mean, that whole opening scene with the funeral was, it was fire to me. You know? I enjoyed it. It was sad. I mean, I hate to say it, like, I enjoyed it, but I appreciated it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, spot on. You know, I appreciated it. I really liked the fact that I love the funeral scene, you know, because it would definitely get you in the feels, because we all felt that, because they really got close to home, talking about it was the illness, it was sudden, nothing we could do to help them, you know, so they really hit close to home. They really got it out of the way very quickly. I did not expect that to happen so fast. I thought it was going to be a little longer, or they were going to find another way to talk about his past, like maybe he went away with the blip and came back and something was wrong on a planet or something, but they got into it really fast, and I like the fact that they hit us with it and got it out of the way.
Yeah, I like that too. Like, just because you didn't want that lingering over the whole movie. Like, I mean, you got to. Everybody knows what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, you know, elephant in the room. Let's just address it.
Yeah.
Boom.
Now, I will say this: I thought that they would have come up with another way about him not being there, other than it being an illness, and we can't figure it out, and now he's gone. I thought that was like, could you have figured out something else? But, you know, I get it. Ryan Coogler had an uphill battle with this, because he had already written the movie.
Yeah, he had a whole movie. He had to redo it all.
He had to redo it. And from what I read, he had to rewrite it 3 times. He did
a good job. And that's the thing, yo. With this movie, you know, given the cards he was dealt, I mean, it's not the strongest Marvel movie. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. That's how I feel about it. And I can understand how people said they didn't like it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you lose your star.
Yeah.
And you had to throw this movie together, and it came out pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah. So with that being said, what do you guys think about how Shuri, how does she do in this movie? Because really, she has to become the one to carry the movie in a way, and carry this movie on to it. What did you guys feel about her in this movie, and how she did overall in this movie with her, you know, in this movie? Phenom, I'll go to you.
I thought she did a good job. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Being that, you know, we know in the comics, she does become Black Panther in the comics. I mean, it was a good transition. I mean, the thing about it is the way they gave it to her. I liked it, because, you know, she was like, she didn't know what to do with her life. Right. You know what I mean? She, you know, she lost her brother. Then eventually, another tragedy hits, and then she's kind of thrust into the mantle of Black Panther because they needed a savior, they needed a champion, they needed a protector, and she did her job, yo. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have any issues with it. She did a good job carrying the movie.
What about you, Ali?
No, I think she did good as well. I mean, as far as like her character, I could definitely see, she had that death of brother. Not, how can I say? A lot of times people handle grief different. Like how she wasn't, I mean, really dealing with it. She was like, "Fuck, I'm just gonna dive into this work. I'm just gonna dive into this. I'm gonna dive, distractions or what have you."
Yeah.
And then, as we know later on, like even more happens, and it gets to a point, and I think everything, especially as far as like the character, like she had that anger, like what I mean, everything. I thought it was realistic, so I appreciated her in this movie.
For me, I think she did a great job for what she was given because she's not coming in initially into this series as the star. It is Chadwick. So for her to be a support character, to now have to come into this role to in a sense carry the movie, I thought she did a great job. I thought she handled her scenes well. I thought she really brought the emotion when she needed it to. But there's still parts of that Shuri that cracked jokes at times. But I thought her story arc overall was good. But there were parts about her story arc that I was like, I can see that too. I don't know if those parts were necessary, especially with her being so angry and then having this anger with Namor and wanting to take down the world. I don't know. I felt that there were decisions in this movie when it came to her and other characters. I think it could have been a better way of her taking up the mantle of Black Panther, other than the one thing in this movie that I really don't like.
I mean, it's one thing I don't like in this movie either, but
I just want to
push back on Corey a little bit, just because she had a lot of loss, a lot of grief, and when that's like that, you do kind of want to burn the world down. You'd be like, why? You know what I mean? Like, why is this? Like, why? Whether it's like, why the world's like this? Why God do this? Or like, why this not? No, man. Like, you do feel that, like, no, fuck everybody, yo. Like, I'll just burn this bitch down. Like, so I wasn't mad at that.
5 stages of grief, yo. You can all go all through them, yo.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, I wasn't mad at it. I think what it was is that I just felt, what it was? I felt that this movie laid on the grief, or just it was too long.
It was a lot. It was a lot. I mean, your boy had. He had some. Shout out to Ryan Coogler. But he definitely had some Zack Snyder in this shit. It was definitely a couple of scenes I was like, all right, we could cut this shit about 10 seconds ago. But if you add up, like, what I mean?
The movie was a tad bit too long.
Like, you add up about 10 seconds too, what I mean? He definitely had a couple of scenes like that. But no, I'm with you there, though. Like, it was kind of overbearing at times.
So I think... And I think, to me, and I know I asked you about what the best part in this film. To me, the best part in this film is Angela Bassett.
Oh, I was about to say that.
Yeah.
She brought it so good. If she doesn't win an Academy Award, or at least nominated for one from this film, something is wrong, because she was the one, to me, that carried this movie on its back. It's almost like she knew she had to bring her A game because Chadwick was not there anymore, and she did that. Like, literally in every scene
from the beginning,
crushing it.
No, you gotta remember. When they was having the Senate hearing or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that was good. That was definitely a good scene.
That was it reeled me in. Because she was chastising the world like, yo.
Yeah.
Y'all, because the world said, hey, y'all said y'all were going to share these resources with us. And she is like, I was going to share them, but let me bring these colonizers in who tried to attack one of our outposts. And that outpost scene was fire because we didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So they opened up the joke.
Yeah, they thought they had it. They thought they had it. They was like, "Oh, we good. We good here." That was a fire ass scene, yo.
That was a fire ass scene because when they opened up the vault and they walked out, yo, that cinematography was fire.
Yeah, let's go. What did you think? What did you think about Angela Bassett? I thought she was.
Oh, Angela Bassett did a thing in this movie. I ain't gonna lie. I probably wouldn't say she's the best thing. I actually like Okoye. What's it?
Okoye?
Danny,
yeah.
The Dora Milaje?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really good. Yes.
Honestly,
yes.
she was probably my favorite character in this movie.
Okay.
I know she ain't got like way too much, but she's in all the action scenes, so I'm good there.
Yeah. You're an action guy. Yeah.
And then like later on when they was meeting up with the shorty, like she carried the comedy bit, even though like it was kind of self-depreciating. I mean, the humor was on her. She did it well. She handled all that well. She
had that comedic timing.
Yeah, she had the time. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. Like you gotta know how to.
She's a great actress.
It's like being a wrestler. You gotta know how to take the bump. Like everybody be like, it ain't about the person giving the bump. Really, what sells it is the person taking the bump. And so she was taking all the jokes and stuff real good. You know what I mean? I enjoyed her, yo.
Yeah, good point. So staying on Angela Bassett, I'm going to get into one of the major things that I hated in this movie. And y'all may agree or may disagree, but I for the life of me, I did not know why they would kill off the queen, Angela Bassett. I thought, to me, that was a bad decision. I don't know who in the writer's room said that was a good move. I thought that was the worst decision you could have ever made. Why killing off the queen was a good move, I don't know. I hated it. I really hated that part. What did you guys think about that?
Go ahead. I gotta get my hands.
Honestly, I wasn't mad at that. Yeah, I mean, it was just it was a lot, but I mean, it was something that had to push Siri to the edge to be like, fuck it, like where's Black? I gotta get to Black Panther. And again, trust me, don't hate me. I love Angela Bassett. Y'all seen her 60-year-old pics and picked up some shit. I mean, she was 16 and yeah, okay, Angela. Yeah. I love Angela Bassett. But I mean, I think like you liked her a lot more in this movie than me. I mean, not that I didn't like her, I just didn't think like she carried the movie or anything of that, in my opinion. Right. So I mean, I wasn't mad at her dying. I mean, she's just the queen. I mean, I hate to say just the queen. She's just the queen. Let her go. She ain't fighting nobody. Like, what I'm saying. Let's get to the folks that's fighting.
I gotta disagree with that. But go ahead, Phenom. Any thoughts on that?
All right, I do disagree with that only because her dying feeded into the narrative that Shuri is going to be Black Panther. She lost her brother, lost her mother, and now they needed to protect her. What I didn't like about, I ain't gonna say I didn't like it. I liked it, but I was mad at Angela Bassett for kicking Okoye out because Okoye was trying her best to save like Shuri from getting kidnapped.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you another part I didn't like. And this is kind of ties
somebody got to take the fall though. You know how that goes.
Yeah, I mean. But I got to bring this back though, because I didn't like how the Ironheart, or the girls will be playing Ironheart.
Yo, I was definitely gonna get to that, but
I didn't like how they did like a ghetto.
Oh, all right. Oh, you just jumping to it, yo. Look, you just Phenom be jumping ahead all the time, yo. He can't.
But we can talk about it all, but we will get to that because I have some issues with that. That is my second issue with this film.
Oh yeah, we definitely got issues with Jar Jar Banks. Like, let's go.
Yeah. I don't like that issue.
Man, you hold off, yo. Sometimes you gotta feed it in, man.
What I was saying was, Corey didn't like her Angela Bassett dying. My issue with her is her dismissing Okoye. When Okoye wasn't, when she was doing her best, and she got attacked, by people she never. Like she killed everybody, and it just rose back up.
That scene on the bridge was dope. I mean, when they were just good. I'm going to call them the Atlanteans though, but I'm just going to call them the Atlanteans because that's what they're on the comic. When the Atlanteans came up and started fighting them, I mean, they looked good. Their costumes looked good, and you could tell they meant business. And I love that fight between Okoye and Dude.
I believe that really Talakan.
There you go. Thank you, Ali. There you go. But let me tell you the reason why I didn't like Angela Bassett dying. Because I felt that there was enough death in this film already. We already are dealing with the death of Chadwick Boseman through half of the film. And then the second half of the film, now you're going to kill off the queen. So now we got to deal with the mourning of that. I just felt that it was way too much. And we didn't need the queen to die in order for her to take up the mantle of Black Panther. She could have gone to a coma and then came out the later of the film. They didn't have to kill her off per se, and that's what I don't understand why they decided to make that decision. And I tell you who else didn't understand why they made that decision. I actually read that Angela Bassett.
She was upset about it.
She was upset about it, which she actually wrote here. It's on the Insider. I'm going to read here. Black Panther Wakanda Forever star Angela Bassett objected to Queen Ramonda's twist and asked Ryan Coogler, "What are you doing?" And then it goes down here to say Angela Bassett explained this in an interview with the IndieWire that she objected to Ramonda's death when speaking to the director Ryan Coogler and thought the audience would hate the twist. She said, "I objected. Yeah, I was like, Ryan, what are you doing? Why would you rue the day? You would rue the demise of Ramonda. People are going to be upset." Ryan Coogler then replies back and said, he was like, "Angela, I know, but look, to die is not really to die in this world. It doesn't really have to mean that." So basically what he's saying, like, look, you can die, but you don't really die in the comics. But come on now.
Nah.
Why even kill her off, period?
Angela Bassett said, "Yo, why you fuck with my money, yo? You fuck with my check."
The check, yo. She's a...
But then Ryan Coogler hit her with the, yo, somebody either leave. They'll see you again. Like, you know, you still good. Like, he's still good. That's basically what he said. "No, don't worry. We'll swing you back in." She was like, "Yo, you fuck on my money."
They should have never killed her off. Yo, that was a bad move.
I could definitely see your point of view on that. They didn't have to kill her. First of all, when I thought, when Namor attacked and, she drowned or whatever, I thought Shuri was going to be able to save her. I thought that's what it was speeding up to.
Mm-hmm.
But then she wasn't. And like I said, that fed the narrative of she's the only protector.
And that's what
I said. I think that's what pushed Terry to go ahead and be the Black Panther. So I wasn't mad about it.
Death should not always be the reason you're on your hero's journey, because T'Challa's father died. Now Chadwick died, and now the Queen Ramonda died. It's like everybody is dying in order to feed their narrative of now they have to rise up and become the hero. There needed to be something different. Shuri could have decided to become Black Panther, not because he attacked the mother, because he attacked Wakanda. The movie is called Wakanda Forever. Yeah. He invaded her home of Wakanda. Now, it just so happens that he attacked her mom, and that could have been more fuel to the fire, but him invading Wakanda and destroying Wakanda in that scene should have been enough to let her know, like, okay, I got to do something, because now this guy has invaded my home. That's what I would have thought.
I'm gonna tell you something that y'all always told me, yo. It's Hollywood, yo. When it's Hollywood, it's the formula that works. If you look at everybody who becomes somebody, they have a tragic moment. John Wick lost his dog and his wife. The Punisher lost his family. You know what I'm saying? It's everybody loses somebody to take them to that next level. Yeah. It's Hollywood. So I understand you want a different version of it, but that's the easy version. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's what it was for me.
I'll agree with that. I mean, it's definitely cliche, and it's a lot of cliches going to happen in this movie, like, later on. So it is.
Yeah, and let's get into it.
I'll give you that.
And I said on my post that there was a major thing in this movie that I didn't like, and I felt that it was Disney's way of dealing with the introduction of Black characters. And damn it, yo, I was so upset when I was watching this film. In the introduction of Riri Williams. Okay, I don't even know what else to say.
So can you blame Disney? Can you blame Disney? You don't put that on right? Coogler wrote the movie.
I don't know.
Coogler got. Trust me, he got the power. He could have not did that.
Somebody needed to say something, because this was so over the head, on the top. She was a wee bit ghetto, but so much wee bit ghetto that I'm like, isn't nobody going to say anything about this? Like, what did your guys think?
Oh, I already told you. I called it. She's Jar Jar Binks, Black Panther. Yo. I was like, yo, what the? And she's at MIT. Not saying that you can't be like from certain places and still go to MIT, but you don't have a certain way you carry yourself. I mean, it was just so over the top. It was just so over the top. Like, it was way over the top. Yeah, you might be boom, 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 like how your little slang here and this and that. But it was just like over the top to me.
It was almost like, what I thought I was watching? I thought I was watching Jukebox on Power.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
But I think they was trying to carry, I mean, I'll put it like this. I think they were trying to use her for like some comic relief.
But it was bad.
But it just wasn't. It just wasn't hitting right. You know what I mean? It was like they was trying to use her for a little bit of comic relief. Like, let me say these little one-liners. You know, boom, boom. But it just didn't hit like it should.
What about you, Phenom?
I didn't like her introduction at all. You know, before Ollie chastised me before I got into it, because it got under my. It made me feel bad the way they introduced it, the trope. Like I said, she was doing people homework. Like they was coming to her, they was paying her, like kind of scamming. Like, you know, the way she was talking.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind the homework scam though part. I was like, boom, that's good.
But that's a good. It's a
but
good.
Then once they got
scam,
to the room, it was too much.
Yeah, see, that was too much. When she started rolling up on the student, like, yo, where my money at, son? I'm like, come on, yo. That's out of hand.
I didn't like
too far.
The trope of her being like a fatherless black kid. You know what I'm saying? She kept talking about her mother instead of her parents. You know what I'm saying?
But she had a dad though.
But the thing about it is, we didn't. They kind of dropped a hint because I think her dad gave her the car. I don't know.
Yeah, that's her dad. Like her dad worked on the car. That's why the car. That's why she sold the car. So
it was like, and that was like tragedy instead of saying like,
Phoenix, you make a really good point.
I want to have representation too. Like,
you make a really good point. The problem with Riri Williams is they make it seem like this girl is from the hood, like downtown ghetto. And she's smart enough to make it to MIT, and all the hood mentality she took with her to MIT. That was not a good look. I hated it from beginning to end. Immediately when she showed up on camera, I was like, what the fuck is she doing? Yeah. Like, it was so over the top. It was cringeworthy to me. Every time she was on the screen, I was like, yo, I don't understand what's going on. And let me tell you another thing. She's being introduced into this universe. Spider-Man got introduced into this universe and he wasn't like, it was great when he showed up in Civil War. This is her first time showing up in the MCU and she is meeting Wakanda. Yeah. I would have thought she would have been way different. She was good.
And then the only other thing I didn't like with her too was, it's like, I guess she's like super genius. Cause it's like, yo, I built a whole suit in a week. I do this and it was just like too much too soon, yo. They could have eased it in this kind of.
They gave no background as to why she's here.
How she afford to rent on a garage, yo, in Massachusetts, yo?
I mean, she was working in the garage. She said, though, that's the thing.
Well,
she said it was the thing. They did say, but to me, it was just like, yo, you just smart, like you making motherfucking, you finding
vibranium across the world.
Yeah, out of parts from the junkyard. It's like, you got parts from the junkyard? I was like, yo, what? And then, like, even when she went over there to Wakanda and started building the suits, it was just like, oh, she's like, yo, can I help? Like, even with the Angela Bassett shit, she said, can I help? Like, you never even seen this type before. She just put on the shit, started just doing. I was like, come on, man. Like, it was a little over the top. I ain't gonna lie. I was just like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, it was. The problem with this is, they didn't know how to introduce her character the way it's supposed to be. She has a really good story. Yeah. She hasn't really been around the comics that long, but her story is really good. And they could have used, really, honestly, they didn't even need her in this damn film. They really didn't need her in the film at all. And this was the part of the movie that I didn't like because I felt they were inserting characters into this movie to set up shit down the line like a Disney Plus series in a movie, and we didn't need Ironheart.
And honestly, that's what's up. She already knows the Disney Plus series coming.
You already know it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if she can carry a whole Disney Plus series. They gotta have some good writing.
I don't want to see that. I was excited at first, but after seeing this and the way she was in this movie, I'm not excited about seeing an Ironheart movie. And I'll tell you this thing about Ironheart. Well, go ahead, Fino.
No, but that's kind of what Ollie was talking about in regards to adding too much to the movie that didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
Like for me, the government didn't know what she was. She was walking around campus, and that's the thing. If Neymar was trying to kill her because he made some technology that was going to find vibranium, the government already has something because they was finding vibranium.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they know who she was on their radar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That storyline didn't make sense to me.
It was clearly something that they shoehorned in because the typical story of Riri Williams is that she's from the suburbs. She got a free ride into MIT because she's a child prodigy. And
Yes.
in the comics, she's more like a 15, 14-year-old child prodigy. This one, they made her almost like she was 19 and 20, which I'm okay with that.
She's in school.
But don't have her so hood. And why is she trying to jack people for money? She got a freaking free ride to MIT. And so it was stuff like that I'm like, they didn't make sense. They didn't give us enough information on her background. They didn't even explain why she was making the Iron Man suit. But in the comics, you understand why she's making the Iron Man suit, because she has a connection to Tony Stark's. All this stuff nobody knows.
Yeah,
they
I didn't know that
shit in the movie.
Honestly, I never knew that.
See, you won't know that.
I was like, damn, she done found Van and just made the Iron Man suit that just dropped down for the plot way. But no, that's crazy.
It
makes more sense now. It makes more sense.
Explain, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, another part. I mean, like, not to beat a dead horse with Ms. Williams, but
she was bad.
Even when the comedic genius of Okoye, entered her dorm.
Oh yes, I hated that part.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, Suri went in there. I can blend in as a college student, go talk to her. I know who you are. I need you to come with Wakanda with me. You know what I'm saying? And then, she didn't make the time limit. Okoye came in.
Yes,
he was making fun of her makeup or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't want to go to Wakanda. Who doesn't want to go to Wakanda?
I know.
Like you're in tech. You go to MIT.
Mm-hmm.
Wakanda is alien technology compared to MIT.
Exactly.
Why would you want to go? And plus, people are trying to kill you.
Exactly. It's the same reason when Peter Parker was approached by Iron Man, he didn't think twice about hiring and going with Iron Man because he was fanboying out.
Yeah. And it started out with her fanboying. She was like, oh, shit. She was like, oh,
a second.
Yeah, she saw the princess. She was like, oh, shit, you the princess. Like, yeah, you think she would go. Especially with, that's a good point, Corey. Especially with her being an Iron Man. I mean, you too, Phenom. Like, especially with I'm sorry, Iron Man. I said that. I meant to say her at MIT is like, that's what she's into. If anything, you'd be like, yo, let me go over there and fuck with this shit.
Why wouldn't you want to go?
Like, Phenom said, this is motherfucking futuristic tech. Let me go learn some of this.
Exactly. And
I
didn't like her comedy at that party.
Yeah,
when she was
kept saying
stuff at Okoye, that was kind of...
Because I had to lie, yo, but she was... Now I think about it, she was like, yo, I got to come back for a test. I'd be like, fuck MIT, yo. Like, let me just come over here for a little bit. Like, let me kind of do an internship over here.
Exactly.
For a couple of,
she can bring her mama to Wakanda.
Yeah, that's it. Like, fuck MIT. Like,
exactly.
We in Wakanda.
And the one thing about Riri Williams that brings another thing in this movie I didn't like was the sidelining of other characters. Of course, there were other characters that got brought in that I didn't think needed to be in the story, which was Val. I didn't think she really needed to be in the story. The other guy from S.H.I.E.L.D., I forget his name, he didn't need to be in the story.
He wasn't in there a lot. I understand why he was there, though. He was there just because he was the connection to get the info in the U.S.
Yeah.
True. And he's also there to probably set up the Thunderbolts and the stuff that Val is doing.
I mean, yeah, all the stuff Val. I mean, really, that's why. That's why. Like all.
It's all
dropping
set
nuggets,
up,
yo. Yeah, it's all set up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
what did you guys feel about, because these characters got in, M'Baku not being in it?
M'Baku's a scene stealer every time.
Yeah.
The subtle things, like when he was walking in, he was eating a carrot, yo. Why is he eating a carrot? Because they're vegetarians, yo. Know what I'm saying? It was crazy. And then, you know, him and Okoye going back and forth, calling a bald-headed demon.
Yeah.
I thought, when I heard it, I thought it was funny. I was like, damn, but you think, people gonna be mad at him but nobody was mad, yo. I scoured the internet. Nobody was.
But look, I scoured the internet. Guess what? They said that wasn't even in the script. That was like a freestyle, like ad lib. He just came out and it was like, and she ran with it. You know what I mean? So
that's how good he is.
Yeah, he's definitely.
I hated the fact that he got sidelined in this movie. They needed more M'Baku through this whole freaking film, and he got sidelined. What makes him
great though, Corey? It's not just his comedic genius. It's like he thinks about the wars he want to get into. Like he doesn't just jump into it. Like them being like, aggressive or big and thinking they and powerful, they just want to go to war. He like, this might not be my fight, yo. I need to be persuaded to go.
And I'm about to do my thing now, Corey, and we just want to jump into some other
Go ahead, let's do it.
And see, I hate to say it because we just down motherfucking was talking shit about this movie for like 15 minutes. We about talk shit about 10 more minutes. Then I'm gonna get positive. Fuck this. I'm gonna get positive after the next 10 minutes. But how you like it sound like it. We definitely should have spent more time in Wakanda. To me, like with these the characters in Wakanda, I love and enjoy.
Yeah.
Like the Siri getting kidnapped by your boy Neymar and all that shit underwater, going to see his motherfucking city, whatever. All the
Telecan.
The motherfuckers doing like, you kids, so whatever the fuck.
That was their sign, yo. But it was like, Wakanda got this.
Wakanda got that.
But I'm just saying, that whole shit was long. I was like, I do not care about seeing little kids fluttering around like that shit
they
was
definitely
long.
could have shaved off 20 minutes in this film.
I ain't need none of that shit. Like, I don't care about. I mean, I ain't just say I don't care about him. I know they're trying to introduce him, but they gave the background. I mean, the background with his mama and this shit was enough for me. I was like, I know why he got some skin in the game. Like, I don't need. Like that shit was long, man. That was like Zack Snyder. I was like, yo, that's god damn.
The Zack Snyder when Justice League movie. Yeah, it was long.
I was like, do we need to see every person in the capital city to like? And he gave
it was long. And how did Nakia find her so good and so fast? Like,
I would say that's yeah. And then Neymar, when he gave her his mama's bracelet, I was like, yo, that's your mama's bracelet. You just met this girl, like, really? And shout out to What the Funk. That is because he left the comment, but I was thinking that in the movie. I was like, yo, literally when I was watching the movie, I was like, why is he giving her his mama's?
Right,
your mama's the whole reason why you about to really kill the world. You just gonna give her your mama's bracelet the first day you meet her.
Yeah.
So let me tackle that part.
Simp ass Neymar.
And that's the thing. Neymar should have been a badass. He was a badass character in this movie. Like from the beginning, when they found when the team found the vibranium, his people killed him. Killed all the people there. Mm-hmm. On the bridge, his people kidnapped Shuri and could have killed Okoye, but Okoye had her nemesis that she fought a couple times in the movie. Mm-hmm. But like for him to kidnap Shuri, bring her down here, and the girl, he could have killed the scientist because that's what he wanted to do. He could have just murked her.
Dude, I was wondering that.
He kidnapped her.
The whole time he's like, I want to kill the scientist. He kidnapped Shuri and then has the scientist, and he didn't even kill her.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I didn't get that either. He could definitely kill the scientist. I understand like him not hurting Shuri. You know what I mean? Just because no matter how crazy it gets, a lot of times it's like diplomats. Like, you know what I mean? We're dealing with like kings and queens, presidents. At certain points, certain shit.
You watched House of Dragons when they was on the bridge and everybody should have died on the bridge.
Because the certain shit you just don't do. But you know what I mean? When you got that honor and all that type of stuff. So, and then he was really trying to get Wakanda on his side anyway. But nah, I would have just murked the Riri. Her ass would have been murked.
But quick.
I was just been apologizing to Shuri. Like, I'm sorry, I had to kill him. Like, you know what I mean? Not
that
asking.
Is true.
But I mean, what he had to do too. I mean, I understand the diplomatic part about it. I mean, he kidnaps both of them. Says, Shuri, I gotta kill her, but I need you to be on my team because we can't have, nobody needs to know where we are.
Right.
If Shuri wasn't playing ball, he should have killed her anyway, but he didn't. And like I said, how did Nakia find him? Like, yeah, she speaks fluent Spanish, but she was born in Mexico though in real life. You know what I'm saying? So she speaks fluent Spanish, but they gave up the goods. She got in her little watercraft, found both of them. Nobody was guarding them. They had one guard.
Dude, I don't understand.
That was all.
How does she get down? First, how does she even know where to go?
Yeah.
But we'll leave that alone. Yeah. She gets down there, and then she navigates her way through this underwater city.
Did the ship detect vibranium?
Nah, they detected
don't know.
her bead. They found her beads.
The bead, that's what it was.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well,
Her earrings. She had
the
earrings.
her mama said, yeah.
Right. But still, how in the hell did she infiltrate this underwater sea city? I just don't know. And somehow she gets right to where Shuri is, able to take her away and take her back. I don't know. I was like, yo, that doesn't make any sense to me. But I let it slide.
Yeah.
But I think Namor was trying to. I think he was trying to set Shuri up anyway. He was trying to find ways to get Shuri on his side. But you're right. Giving him his mama bracelet after meeting her for 5 minutes was kind of like, what?
Yeah.
It don't make kind of much sense there.
Yeah.
Well, can we backtrack a little bit? What did y'all think about Namor running up on Shuri and the Queen when they was
Out in
having
the
the power
woods?
on the beach, yo?
I mean,
I thought that was dope. They caught their ass off guard.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it. I thought it was good. I mean, it was really good to see how he. It was a way of them showing how he was able to get under
Pass the
them without
defenses.
them. Yeah, pass the defense without them even knowing it. So I really did.
Yeah.
I really did like that. I thought that Wakanda would have been better with that. I don't know why, but they're making it. I guess they're trying to hint at the fact because he had vibranium and things like that. That's why he could do that. But I don't know.
Well, I think it was just. I mean, they had mentioned something like to get this to here, you had to be like swim hundreds of thousands of meters or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so I just think the defenses weren't ready for like underwater attack as far as like a single person. I'm sure if a ship was under there, like you know, they'd be like doo, but you know, a single person, they'd probably like, yo, that's just a dolphin or some shit. But no, I like that, man, and I like the whole setup as far as having another. I want to say old school, but another like native people, just like Wakanda, like having vibranium, you know what I mean, and still holding it down. So all that was cool. I was cool with him. I like that, and honestly, I mean, what you said was the truth. And as far as like, you know, they coming for the vibranium, like we got. I mean, his thought process or his reasoning. I mean, of course, he wants to burn down the world, so to speak. That's probably a little extreme. But at the same time, he realizes, like, these folks get this vibranium is on and popping either way.
Yeah, he knows. He knows because he's probably been dealing with this for years. He's been around.
It ain't just that,
anyway.
though. It's just like if they get vibranium, Wakanda can be, like, going to war with the world. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the only people that got it.
Yeah, that's what it's like. So, I wasn't mad at that at all, yo. Mm-hmm. I was just to say, as far as to become the scientists, as they keep calling her, you're always better ask for forgiveness than permission. Yo, just do that shit. Just do it. Just let do it. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
What have you guys been hearing? There's been a lot of stuff online about the lack of men in the film. That get you guys' thoughts on that. A lot of people have been talking about that. A lot of people have been upset that M'Baku got sidelined. And they thought that it's good to show these strong Black women, but they said this film showed a lack of strong Black men. And you know, want to get you guys' thoughts on that. I definitely can agree with that. I felt that M'Baku got sidelined. I definitely think he should have been right there with these women the whole time. He is just that good. I mean, look, he's a scene stealer in every last one of his scenes. He was barely in the film. And he was already so good in the first one. Why not have him go on this journey with these guys? I don't really understand, but I can agree with some of these people's concerns that there weren't enough strong Black men in this film, and M'Baku being the main one got sidelined as well. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, I ain't think nothing of it. I mean, truth be told, yes, he is a scene stealer. He should have been in it more, but he was probably in it roughly the same amount he was in the first one.
Yeah.
Which is true. But what people are saying is that because he was so good in the first one, why wouldn't we have seen more of him like we saw more of Okoye in this one?
Because I think they wanted to push Shuri as the Black Panther. You know what I mean? I don't think it was a knock on him. I think they're setting it up with all the rhetoric. I also heard people want him to be the king of Wakanda. So that could be something they can push him though going forward.
Yeah, he is now from at the end of the movie. At the end of the movie.
I mean, honestly, I didn't look at it like that. I just look at it as honestly. I mean, the ways Wakanda set up is like the main security force are women.
It's all women.
Unfortunately, Chadwick died So his mama, I mean, his daddy done well in the film.
His dad died.
His dad died previously. Yeah. Like, so you just got the queen. I mean, that's the two was left. So I don't think of that like lack of black men at all. You know? I mean, it's just that's what it is. And then they pushing this new character. Happened to be another girl. Like, so I mean. I don't know. You read the comments unless it says a black kid from a black male from Wakanda or something that deals with the Wakanda that can push. I don't see it as that.
No, I mean
it's just what I think it's more of a circumstance. Because if Chadwick was alive, the movie would have been about Chadwick. You know what I mean? It's just more of a circumstance than anything to me.
Yeah, and look, it may sound like we're shitting on this movie, everybody, and it is a good movie because if anybody had to deal with and try to write and direct a movie like this, this is a star. Like Chadwick Boseman was a star. This guy, I mean, to me, when I thought of Chadwick Boseman with Ryan Coogler, I'm like they're going to be like Robert De Niro and Mark Scorsese, you know. Like they were going to be together making movies till the end of time. They were just that good. And he lost them, you know? So to rewrite this movie, it was a serious undertaking. I did think he did a really good job. What did you guys think of the action now that we're getting near the end of the film and the action of this film?
I mean, when they attacked Wakanda, that's part of the cinematic stuff I like. Mm-hmm. Like all the visuals was great. How they like came underwater and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. How they they had some kind of trance that was making people jump into the ocean like lemons.
That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. That was kind of scary in a way. Like they were putting people in trance to commit suicide.
That was crazy. Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, that was crazy. There was only one thing about the fight scene that I thought that I was like, I don't know why they're doing that because I'm like, this is Wakanda. Y'all have so much technology. Remember when they were on the boat and they finally got Namor, they tried to lure everybody onto the boat and they finally got Namor away and got him in the ship and Shuri was taking him off and had the heat all on him. So then the Wakanda's like, all right, let's go. They got him. They decide to get and continually go down the sea where, I mean, like, I'm like, why are you on a boat continually to go down the sea where that's where the Atlanteans are? Yeah. But like, why wouldn't they have been like a helicraft and come up out of the water and then fly to Wakanda?
I guess they didn't expect it because, they had the thing doing the Sonic thing underwater, the Sonic. So that's what threw them off when Shorty...
Water bombs, yo.
Yeah, the water bombs. When Shorty got up in there and blew that up.
I just don't understand that. I'm like, come on, Wakanda. You should have lifted that thing out of the water and carried that thing back to Wakanda. And let's go back in the water.
Yeah, I feel you on that, though. Yeah, you're right. You're right, though. They got that technology. But
I'm just nitpicking, though. But I thought the battle scene was pretty good. I thought I was pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed the fight scene in Wakanda. I enjoyed the fight scene out on the water. The only thing I will say, though, I hate to say it, because as soon as I saw it, I was like, yo, they biting the motherfucking wallboard movie. Like, when the shortest ran down the side of the joint, it's a movie called The Wall. Have y'all seen that shit, The Great Wall?
Yeah, he's like an Asian, like, samurai dude.
Yeah, he's white.
White samurai. Yeah, it's an Asian movie.
But when they was attacking the Great Wall of China, they did the exact same thing where they, like, the shortest ran down the shit and they had, like, ropes.
Yes, they did that. I saw that movie.
And I was like, oh, yo, biting the joint. But it was still good, though. I enjoyed, but overall, I enjoyed the whole fight scene. To the end.
I thought the fight scene was good. I didn't hate it. I thought it was good. I mean, there were some things that I was, you start getting nitpicky at things, but overall, I thought the fight was still good.
Especially
the fight with Namor was good. I love the fight in Wakanda when they're fighting and the water bombs are going off, and M'Baku, of course, gets his moment to shine and starts slinging people. And then when he gets hit, his comic relief, his time, he's like, oh my God, I thought all of that was great.
I didn't like the fight on the beach as much, though. Not gonna lie, only because I need more. This was lazy to me. Her getting stabbed, her finding enough power and energy to walk through the spear.
Yeah,
you didn't see her put a bead in her or nothing.
Yeah.
And then she does a flip to stop him from getting to the water.
I mean, yeah, it was. That's what I was gonna say when I was like, I like it to one part. Yeah, the end got a little exaggerated. I was like, yo, come on, man, this is a little crazy.
Like she got a hole in her.
Yeah. But I guess she's a Black Panther, so it is what it is as far as like goes.
You know, it's interesting that you guys said that about the end scene, because my thing with the end scene that I didn't like was how she was able to fight Namor, who's been around for thousands of years fighting. She is a scientist, and all of a sudden she's in this melee hand-to-hand combat with him. Totally different. You know, now it would have been different if she was fighting Namor with like science technology out of her suit, like Batman, some shit popping up and doing that. That would have been pretty cool. But her actually, that hand-to-hand combat, I'm like, yo, she ain't never did this before.
Nah, I'm not giving a pass on that because he was weakened. Like he was already, he was drying out. He was drying out on the beach because that was the whole thing at the end. Like even after he stopped, he's like, I gotta get to this water because he was dying out. So he was in a weakened status. So I'll give it a pass.
And that's very
Fuck
true.
that, man. If y'all don't say something you like about this fucking movie right now.
I told you, man, it was a pretty movie, yo.
All right,
for real.
Well, let's end this off with what the things we did like. I mean, everybody's hearing this shit about the movie.
Yes, man. And I didn't say all this shit too. I'm like, yo, why am I talking about? I like the movie, yo.
Yeah.
I like the movie too. Yeah.
But we're doing a review, so we're getting nitpicky on the things we liked and didn't like. But let's talk about the things we did like. I thought Angela Bassett was great. I think she should win an Academy Award. Namor, I think the actor that played Namor did a phenomenal job. He played so good that I can't wait to see him in more stuff.
Yeah, so they're definitely bringing all that back. You already know Wakanda, no link up because the U.S. is on do some dumb shit, try to steal some more vibranium. It's gonna be on and popping, Civil War style.
Yeah, I agree. I think the costumes were good. Yeah. I think they're going to definitely win an award for that. I mean, I thought the effects were pretty good this time. I thought the effects were a lot better than the first movie, because the first movie to me, and which one do you like better? I like the first movie better than this.
I mean, the original is always
I like the first movie better, but the only thing about the first movie I don't like is the special effects at the very end when he's fighting Killmonger in that tunnel. I was like, that's kind of a little janky. But other than that, the movie is a 9.5 for me. It's a 0.5 for that. But I think the effects are way better in this.
You know what I like? You just brought up Killmonger, yo.
Yeah.
The scene with Syrian Killmonger.
That was good.
I enjoyed that scene.
Did you guys expect to see him?
No, I did not. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, boom.
I knew he was going to be in the movie. I didn't know what capacity.
I didn't know he was going to be in it.
I didn't know he was going to be in the movie.
Yeah, me neither.
They said something.
But the way he was talking, like he was talking that real shit though. He was like, "Yo, what it is? Like, yo, you don't like. I'm about that business. Like, y'all got that honor, but I'm about making change. Like, I'm about that business. Like, what it is. So, and I enjoyed the whole interaction. You know what I mean? Especially how they kind of cut it off, and then you went back and saw what she said later on. I mean, she was really. I mean, what she said was like, "Yo, I got that fear. I'm gonna burn this shit down." And then at the end, of course, her mama like, you know what I mean, that came. But I enjoyed all that with Michael B. Jordan. Yo, I thought that that shit was fire.
Yeah, go ahead, Phenom. What's your thoughts on that?
I like the fact that he's on the ancestral plane. No, the ancestral plane.
All the
He's technically not.
Yeah, all the black.
He's technically not.
No, he's like in purgatory or something.
Sort of, yes. He's not on the ancestral plane, because you look at the ancestral plane in the original Black Panther, it's got like this purplish color in the background, and they're all in like a prairie in the trees and the panthers. He's not there. He's the only one in this spot. Sort of like the same way it was when Killmonger took the heart-shaped herb. He didn't go to the ancestral plane. He went back to his apartment in Oakland and saw his dad. So this is and basically what it is it's sort of like the hammer, like Mjolnir. If you're not worthy, then you don't quite get to visit the ancestral plane. So that's when Shuri took that heart-shaped herb. She didn't go there. She didn't see her father. She didn't see her brother. She didn't see the Panthers of years past. She saw Killmonger, because she's angry. So she is going to a plane, but it's not the ancestral plane.
And I had to lie. I enjoyed that a lot that they did that because I definitely thought when she took that shit, she was going to see Angela Bassett. I ain't gonna lie. If she saw Angela Bassett, I'd be like, yo, this is. Ooh, I'm like, come on, man.
Trash.
Yes, I wouldn't have wanted to. I mean, that was just, it would have been just too obvious. So for them to flip it up and say, I was like, oh, like, I enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like how they kept Killmonger like himself.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't humble or nothing in the afterlife.
Nah.
he was still Killmonger, yo.
Yeah.
I think if she wasn't angry, she probably would have seen, maybe her like different
That's how it is
ancestors.
in the comics.
Know what I'm saying?
So in the comics, there's a moment where Black Panther is lost and she realized the same situation. We don't have a Black Panther. We need to protect Wakanda. So she uses her technology to help create a suit because she didn't take the heart-shaped herb. But eventually she does take the heart-shaped herb and she does not see them. She gets upset that she doesn't see them because she feels that she's worthy to be Black Panther. Yeah. But it's not until later on in the comics when she like saves T'Challa or she does something, then she eventually does see them in the ancestral plane when she does take on that mantle of being Black Panther. So some of this is very similar to the comics where she doesn't see it the first time around.
Yeah.
It
was dope, yo. You know
but
what I mean?
I enjoyed that. I ain't gonna lie, yo. Like I said, you already know I enjoyed my girl, yo.
Lupita?
The bald head. Oh, nah. Well, matter of fact, that was gonna be a whole nother section for the end of the show. We can jump into this right now. We can jump into this right now, brother. Lupita.
All right, let's go to it. Go to it, brother.
Yo, I might have followed her on Instagram. Donnie, I ain't know I ain't the only one. Look, I do. I follow Lupita. I mean, no, I'm just saying. Full disclosure, I was in the movie theater with my wife, like with the shorty room. The Peter came on stage with that tight suit. I was like, whoa! I was like, is that CGI?
I won't CGI. Yo.
Look, I know, and that's why y'all laughing because y'all thinking the same. I was like, it's like that, Lupita. Okay.
Yeah, like she looks different.
Yeah. She was looking real good.
Did y'all see her training for Black Panther?
Yeah, I saw that when she was swimming underwater with like the weights and shit.
Yeah, she truly trained for that. Yeah, She was looking good. She put on that skin tight thing with no problem.
Yeah, man, I bet you everybody in Hollywood, every rapper, actor, everybody.
Oh, everybody, cast is all on her, especially with her with the dreads, like the faux dreads. Like, shout out to Lupita, y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. Shout out to Lupita, y'all.
Shout out to Lupita. And with that, you were about to say something else, Ali. Your girl Okoye. I don't know if you want to continue on with that.
I mean, okay. I just enjoyed her character just in general, yo.
I think her character's great.
I really don't. Her girlfriend or whoever the shorty is.
Yeah,
like, I had to lie. I haven't watched. I need to go back and watch so because I was like, I remember her, but I don't remember her.
Yeah, she is new actually for this particular series.
Okay, she's
new. She was not in the previous Black Panther, and she wasn't in Falcon Winter Soldier.
So maybe I'm not. I wasn't crazy because I might be crazy because my hair. I was like, because she looks familiar. I know I've seen her in other stuff.
She was in Chewing Gum.
Yeah.
On Netflix.
I'm trying to remember which one you're talking about. You're not talking about the one on Falcon Winter Soldier.
But no, her love
she's
interest.
New. Correct.
The girl with the daggers.
With the daggers.
Yeah, she's new.
But no, she had I May Destroy You on HBO. She had like a show where she had like date rape or something like that. She's trying to figure out who did it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good ass show. But yeah, she's been popping for a minute. To see her come in the universe in that capacity, I like it, yo.
Yeah, I think that's good too. I'm looking forward to seeing that. It might have been a little shoehorned in with them kissing on the forehead.
Yeah, I didn't lie, yo. It's not even
need that.
And trust me, it's not even about some whatever. You know how people the right. You know, I don't give a fuck about none of that. It did seem kind of like just like shoehorned in, like where this come from? Yeah, type of deal.
Yeah,
but
because we can.
Because I enjoyed her just
with a relationship.
Yeah, with her blades.
Without them having to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, but nah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I enjoyed about the movie, though. That's what I said. It's a solid movie to me. It's a solid movie. Is it the greatest movie ever? No, I understand that, but I also understand maybe some of it. Maybe I have a lot of empathy for my boy Ryan Coogler, yeah, because I think he was under a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
a lot of shit happened.
Yeah.
Top
I
line,
don't think anybody would have been able to do what he
like
did
the switch,
and pull it off.
had to switch, like you said, this is like his third script. He had to switch it up.
Third revision, yes.
They had one joint, and I didn't know again until my girl Suri on the anti-vax. They had to delay more shit and this and like
2 times. They had to delay it twice because she got hurt one time, so she was out for a couple of months,
yeah.
and then she was out for a long time because she didn't want to take the vaccine.
So she
couldn't travel. That's what it was. It wasn't just the vaccine. She couldn't get back to the States.
I mean, but that's
because she wouldn't take the vaccine.
Motherfucker, take the jab, yo. We need to, motherfucker. We got hundreds of millions of dollars on the line, yo. Take the jab.
Yeah.
But either way, he had to deal with a lot of stuff. So I July, maybe I'm grading it on a curve. So I will give you that one, Corey. I'm grading it on the curve.
Look,
yo.
I gave it a rating, on my IG page. I gave it a rating as a 7 out of 10. And
I seen your comments.
Yeah, but comments are like, everybody had a really strong, well, I don't want to say a strong opinion, but everybody had their view of this movie because there were some people that loved it, some people that didn't really like it, some 4s, some 5s, some 6s, some 9s. I was a 7.
But I see some of your comments though. You was like, yeah, it would probably been a 5.5. It might have been like don't.
I do feel that, and that's why I'm bringing this up. I do feel that I might be doing the same thing, Ali. I might have a sympathy vote in there because I knew what Ryan Kingley was going through, because I know Chadwick Boseman is no longer with us, and I might have a sympathy vote in there because of that. So that's why I think it is a 7, because I think maybe if I was watching it in another lens, it probably would be a 6.5 or something like that, or a 6, but so that's where I'm at. But let's go to the ending of the movie. So we all know what pretty much happens at the end of the movie. We see the lovely Lupita. Well, first we see Shuri out on the sea, and she finally
burns,
feels the wind, relaxes, understands, and now she feels good about and feels Chadwick. And I kind of like that scene too, because you kind of see him and she burns
the funeral garb.
That's right. She burns the funeral garb. So it's
symbolic,
kind of like her way
the symbolic
of showing she's moving on. So I really enjoyed that. You see her on the beach. She's looking away. She feels Chadwick and she starts to cry. And then the scene cuts. But also we get a mid-credit scene that starts right where the scene cuts. And that's when you see Lupita walking up with a little boy who we find out is T'Challa, his son, in a sense. It is his son. And that's why Lupita did not come, or Nakia did not come to the funeral, because this was the reason to keep him away from Wakanda and all that, because Nakia and Chadwick had made a sort of like a bond to say that we didn't want him going up in that kind of world of royalty and having all that pressure. So that's kind of like a lump sum of this end scene and mid-credit scene. What were you guys' thoughts about that overall? I'll start with you, Phenom.
I mean, I don't really have much to add. I mean, it was good. I mean, I like the closure Shuri got. Chadwick Boseman having a kid, Black Panther and Nakia having a kid. I'm fine with it. You know what I'm saying? That's why she didn't come by. She stole, and she wanted to keep the kid away from Wakanda, the pressures of Wakanda, which was fine. Her and T'Challa already had that conversation.
Yeah.
Which was great. I was with it. You know what I'm saying? But I think Nakia might have a change of heart going forward. I think she might kind of train him along the way and tell him about his real history and ancestry.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. What about you, Ali? What do you think of this end credit scene, finding out that there actually is a boy, a son?
Yeah, I thought it was fire till the kid came out. I thought, this shit's so fucking corny. Like, really? This what we doing? Like, this what we doing? They just fucking did this shit like in the Hulk series. Like, Hulk got a son. Everybody got kids. Like, I mean, like introduce
in the Marvel.
Introduce. Now, I'm not mad at that, but the secret kid, like, come on, man. I thought that shit was fucking.
That's a lot of.
I mean, that was one of the reasons. Like, when I was like some shit I hate. I hated Jar Jar Binks. And I hated this shit. I was like, yo, this shit's fucking corny, yo. Like, really, this is the end credit scene. Like, really? Like, like we haven't seen this shit 1,000 times in 1,000 movies before. Like that's why I said he rocked. As much as I like Ryan Coogler and I like this movie, and again, I like this movie, yo. And that's why it's sad, because I'm the more person that likes this movie. So me being the hater that I am, it's been like, I'm used to pointing out the negatives. Y'all point out the positives. So I'm like,
see, I got more negative this time around.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm fucked up right now. But this was definitely like a negative to me. I thought that shit was corny as fuck. And we've seen it in 1,000 movies before. Like, the such and such has a kid. Of course, like, when you did, your girlfriend is still alive. Because it's never a wife. It's always a girlfriend that's just still alive. She has the kid. And it's just like, oh, God.
There's a lot of Bassett children in the MCU, yo.
I mean, and not even just MCU. Yo, any world there is in the whole Furious 5, motherfucking... It doesn't matter what world it is. This is the same shit they do, like always. Though, like
we already had a discussion though. It's lazy writing in Hollywood. It's
yes.
I mean, that's what I looked at it as. I'm like, oh,
no, you're right. When because when you said that, I was like, yes, a lot of cliches and the shit. Like they came back. And that was one of them. I thought that shit was trash.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point. I mean, I can't argue with it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, damn, maybe that was kind of lazy writing, but at the moment I didn't think about it. I was like, oh, snap, that's so cool that he has a son, because now I'm thinking, now we have another way of having T'Challa back into this universe.
Yeah. Because
they'll probably do a time jump and he'll be older. And like you said, Nakia will probably be training him and all that kind of stuff so he can take on the mantle as he gets older. So that's why I was like, okay, cool. Because we still have a black, a T'Challa in some way, or a Black Panther, because I don't think Shuri wants to be. Honestly, because she already gave it up and told M'Baku, "Look, you can do it. I don't want to be the ruler of Wakanda.
Yeah, the king. Yeah.
I don't want to be the king."
Queen. Yeah,
but you gotta look at it this way too. Like, it's still a Disney movie. It's still an MCU. Like, you can't really have a bad ending, like not a feel good ending. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like with Iron Man, when Tony Stark died, you know what I mean? Everybody went to his funeral. They still had a feel good ending, because guess what he had? He had a kid.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's
you know what I'm saying? So it's always that.
Well, to go even one further than that, Captain America finally got his dance with Peggy at the end.
Yeah, so it's all and the thing about it is, like, this time of year, we watch a lot of Hallmark movies in this house. Like, me and my wife, all of them have the same storyline, and all of them end the same way, on a happy ending.
Yeah, somebody put up a picture of all the Hallmark Christmas movies, like the posters, like the main, like when you go to select the movie, it's literally the same picture in every one. It's just different actors. It's the same pose, like it was like the same background. I was like, yo, this shit is
same formula, yo.
Like, this is crazy.
I didn't think about it, but I am a blank on this because I have no idea if this is something from the comics. So I can't speak to this, if this is similar to the comics. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Maybe that's something that Disney has come up with a way to figure out how to get T'Challa back in the universe. Me personally, I didn't think it was going to be that. I didn't think it was going to be a son. So I was shocked when I found out that there was a son. It caught me off guard. I thought maybe with the multiverse, they were just going to find another T'Challa.
I just said the time jump will have to be drastic, though. That motherfucker's like 5.
because he's like 9.
Yeah, he's like young.
When we going back to Wakanda again?
Yeah.
Well, also they never, and I still haven't figured out, when does this take place?
They said a year later or something like that.
A year later from when everybody came back from the snap?
Well, it was a year after his death. So they never addressed the snap. It was based off of his death. It was like, it's a year after he died. So no telling when he died.
We don't know when this happened.
But I will say, it can't be too far in the future just because Val's in it. You know what I mean? From Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Elaine's
that's right. It can't be.
You know Elaine, what? So it can't be too far because Elaine's still putting together her team. She isn't.
She's still recruiting.
She doesn't. Yeah, she's still recruiting.
She's still recruiting. Yeah. You know what? I'm thinking about it now. This does happen after they come back from the snap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely after the snap.
It's after the snap.
It was after the snap.
It has to be because
I don't think it's too far in the future.
Snapped.
Yeah, that's what made me think about it, because T'Challa got snapped because he's the first one that comes through when Captain America hears Falcon say on your left. Yeah. He's the first one that comes through the portal, so okay. So it's gonna be at the hell of a time jump, so I don't know.
And I'll say let's give our predictions, but we'll do like 5 minutes afterwards because I got some questions.
Okay, let's do it. So what do you mean? Let's go ahead into that right now.
My score. Oh, we can just get into it. I guess we already told our score. I gave it solid. I think the movie's like an 8. Corey gave it a 7.
I gave it a 7. 8. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a
honestly, I might give it like 8.5. I enjoyed it.
Really?
It's just long. It was just long. My whole thing was long.
It's really long, and I don't know if this movie is as rewatchable to me as Black Panther.
No, it is. Because it's like super long. I ain't gonna lie. I'm probably not gonna be just like watching it again.
Yeah.
No. What you say, Phenom? What's your number?
I watch it in chunks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what's your number though?
8.
8.
All
okay.
Right. Yeah. All right. Okay. Is this what I'm getting into, man? Because honestly, let's be honest, yo. All the Phase 4 movies have been a little.
They haven't been as good. Yeah.
I mean, you take out like Spider-Man: No Way Home. I mean, I know y'all
which is like that's my number one. For
but that's like doesn't really count in Phase 4. No, I said it doesn't count to me. Like as far as Phase 4, it's a Spider-Man movie.
Oh,
that brought back all the Spider-Man. That really didn't do nothing to like
it's a cheat code, yo.
Yeah, exactly. Cheat code.
Okay, because I'm like, how does that not count? But okay,
no, it's Spider-Man, yo. I mean, motherfucking Sony dropped Spider-Man movies that did good. Look at Sony, Fantastic Four, and every other thing. Like it's Spider-Man, yo.
Right.
It's like Batman.
He's the top character in Marvel.
It's like DC. Yes. It's like DC with Batman, yo.
Batman, correct.
You drop Batman, like all the other shit.
It's going to do well.
Yeah, right. Batman's just going to do good. But I mean, just in general, yo, like the movies have been trash, so to speak. I just say trash. They've been underwhelming.
They haven't been as good as the other.
I'm looking at the one we got: Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man.
And to me, they haven't really been pushing the story forward like I would love them to do. Yeah. And of course, we've been under a pandemic and this and that, so it's been a lot of ill shit happening. Mm. You know what I mean? They ran into a lot of roadblocks that probably weren't expected. But my boy, big news. I don't know if you heard, Robert Iger is back at this.
Bob Iger. Mm-hmm.
So from this downturn was where he had a cat Chapek, whatever is it, Bob Chapek was in there.
Yeah.
Disney's been a little bit all these series, all these Marvel Plus series, this not streaming about boom 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 has to be going well, yo. They lost like $1.4 billion, I think they said last quarter. $1 billion. $1.4 billion. $1 billion plus $400 million on top of it in a quarter. Damn. So they bring my man Bob Iger back, who was basically the golden child of Disney. Led him to the golden age, brought in Marvel, set up all these tent poles and this and that. Do you think he's gonna be able to push this Marvel as far as, I don't want to say it's quality, but fuck it, the quality of Marvel back to the tip top? Because the reason the movie industry changed, like people like always say, like because of Marvel movies, but it wasn't just because they're Marvel movies. It was good Marvel movies. That's why
they raised the game up.
As far as superhero movies, it was like good superhero movies. You know what I mean? So
they're just good movies that just happen to be superhero movies.
Yeah. So I mean, so what do you think? You think they'll be able to bring it back, like with all the, and not just movies? So I'm talking about the whole like all the streaming series, the Marvel series. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Go ahead, Corey. My bad. Jump in.
Look, I think so. I mean, but I do think that unfortunately Disney had a tough time because it was a good 2 years there because of COVID. Yeah. And the fact that we were able to get these productions during COVID, I think it's still a phenomenal job. Now, do I think these movies will be better in Phase 5 now that we got Bob Iger back? Yes. Now that we don't have as many restraints of COVID, but you can definitely see the lack of writing, production, just you could tell the lack of vision because of COVID. It was almost like they made the movies, but they kept them open-ended because they just didn't quite know where things were going to end up. And I think now they know where they want to go. So I think things will be better.
I mean, to me, honestly, I don't think he has any influence on these products because they got Marvel and Star Wars on Disney. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they got a lack of a catalog. It's just people got different interests when COVID came up. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Marvel's still gonna make a lot of money. Black Panther made a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I think close almost to $1 billion, almost like 775 or something like that worldwide.
Yeah,
but no, this
is
what I'm saying. Like, I hear what you're saying, but I think what you said, like, nah, I can't go roll with that. It's not that it won't have an effect. Because guess when they got Marvel under Bob Iger? Because he went out and got it. Guess when it got Star Wars? Bob Iger went out and got it. There's been a whole lot of streaming services, like stuff is out there. He's been going out there and getting stuff. And yes, he may not be like Kevin Feige or whoever, like whatever. But you still gotta have a person at the top that's like just how. It's not even about the storylines in the movies. Like how we don't drop these movies. Like what is our plan? You gotta.
I definitely agree.
He's
with
like. That. Like motherfucking your boy from what's the iPhone motherfucker that died?
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs ain't making no iPhones. Like Steve Jobs ain't in there making no apps. But he was the motherfucker that kind of set up the plan. Like you gotta have some kind of vision from the top down. And
maybe I misheard you when you said, "Do I think the Marvel movies ain't going to improve under Iger? He might bring in other products. He's that visionary to bring like." No. Okay, this is hot. Let me bring it to this platform.
I think the movies can improve when you have somebody pointing y'all to a certain direction. Like,
but he hires people to do.
But when you hire Kevin Feige, you may not be like, "Yo, Kevin Feige, I want you to do this with the story." He's gonna be like, "Yo, Kevin Feige, I need you to lead to this because I'm making a park out here." And motherfucking be focused. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's not so much he's telling the story, but he's giving them like a focal point.
Well, he has vision. There you go.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta be telling, even because Kevin Feige ain't running those studios. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta have somebody that's been like, yo, all right.
Yeah, Kevin Feige doesn't run the studio, but he is the creative director in charge of. He's in charge of a lot now. But I see what you're saying. You still need somebody at the top that can make it happen, that can make the business deal. Because Kevin Feige, he's like to me. I look at Bob Iger like David Stern. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he took the NBA into a global phenomenon.
Exactly.
And I understand that, but I'm saying is like I don't mean that doesn't mean Marvel's going to be better because he's back. He might like say, I don't like this and this might not fly. But like he did a good job.
I mean, it's not 100% like the movies are going to be.
You make a good point.
No, it's not so much 100% that the movies are going to be better. But what it is, you don't have somebody like it's not you like Kevin Feige like makes the movies or whatever. But he's gonna be like, I need like you get 8 movies to get to this point.
Yeah,
it's not like, well, we might do this and do this, do that, and that. It's like, no, motherfucker, this is phase 3. This is the schedule. You have 8 movies to get to this point. Mm-hmm. And that alone will make the movies better because they don't have.
Well, let me ask you this:
a focus.
Do you think Marvel's ever going to leave Disney's platform?
No, because Disney owns them, and they don't give them. Why would they give them up now? It's number one. That's
my point. It's like no matter what Bob Iger do, he can say whatever he wants to. They're not going to let that catalog go. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, he might have had his run. He might have been like, "Yo,
he did have the run. He got Marvel.
I left, and guess what? I left, and it didn't come back. So the dude that was running it now, they let him go and brought him back. There's no guarantee Bob Iger's going to do it again.
No, like
he
I
might
said,
just call lightning in a ball at that time.
But I ain't to say that. Good point. Because they had
see it on both sides.
They had a hell of a run. They had a hell of a run. Now I will say your boy caught a bad time. Like I don't know what he could have been. Like he could have been good. He could have been trash. Like that's what I'm saying. As far as Chappick, who got replaced,
COVID is tough.
Yeah, COVID and all.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying he was trash. I don't know. Like that's like one of them shits where it's like you don't know. He caught a bad time, you know what I mean? He nothing.
It's almost like a good coach that get a bad team. It's
Yeah,
like
like
you just don't
nothing-
even know how
yeah.
good he could be because
Like,
he got a bad team.
bad team. What I'm saying is, I think Bob Iger, if anything, though, he's gonna give him a direction. And I will say, I don't think the dude was giving him a direction. He was more just like, yo, I got this Marvel. Let's just keep making Marvel because it's on sale. Because
That's what I said. I think he might bring in some more products. He might keep his eye on what's popping. On the product.
But that alone is going to make the movies better, though. That's my thing. That alone will make the movies better.
Do you think?
And I think that alone, I ain't gonna lie. I think he's gonna probably reel back on his Disney Plus series. I don't think we're gonna get a whole bunch of Disney Plus anymore.
Me personally,
you know what's the Star? I think. My bad. Marvel.
Go ahead.
No, Marvel and Star Wars. I don't think like all these series we got. Boom, 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 boom.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they would have been like this. Like we might get Mandalorian. Boba Fett may not have came out. Like. Honestly, Andor may not have came out.
Yeah, they probably would have, instead of having two separate shows, brought Boba Fett in from time to time in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. It might be a little less of that and a little bit more focused. That's all.
Good point. I mean, look, you make a good point because there are a whole lot more shows that are supposed to come out in Star Wars that we don't really need. Like they're supposed to have a Lando show. They already got a Ahsoka Tano show. Like, we don't need a Lando Calrissian show. We really don't.
Who's gonna watch that shit? We don't watch it. We gonna watch it.
We'll watch it because Donald Glover is Lando Calrissian. Yeah, but I see your point. You could create a better series just bringing these characters into a series instead of creating all these individual series. I mean, that's a good point. But I see both of you guys' point. I see Bob Iger as a person that has vision, but I also see the current person came just at a fucked up time. It was just during COVID and nobody knew what was going to happen. And you had to get these projects going. So you can only kick the can down the road, but so far because you don't know where you're going. So I think it's just a weird time. But I mean, I think Bob Iger's got vision, but Bob Iger cannot do without his Michael Jordan. It's almost like Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is Kevin Feige. This guy is a shit and he knows what he's doing. And you got to have Kevin Feige because without Kevin Feige, Bob Iger doesn't make the money he's making because you can have somebody with vision, but somebody's got to execute that vision. And that's Kevin Feige.
Well, I will say this too, and I'll leave it alone. Marvel and Star Wars, they carry Disney Plus, yo.
They do.
Because all the others, what else do other people watch on Disney Plus?
But to me, that just boosts Bob Iger's case because he's the one that went out and got them.
And that's
what was out there for other people to get. And guess what? Guess who went and got them?
Like, he got Fox too. He got Fox too.
He went out and got them.
Vision, like that's what I'm saying. The Marvel product, like we're gonna watch it. They have their diehards already. There's a lot of people that watch worldwide Marvel, whatever.
Right.
Same thing. And we already know from our channel, people love Star Wars. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What else do they bring to the platform? That's what he has to do. I don't think Marvel and Star Wars is the problem. That's the meat and potatoes. Because they talk about it. People don't lose subscriptions behind Marvel.
But I'm just saying,
there's nothing else on the channel to keep people.
I don't watch anything else on Disney Plus.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking at what you're saying wrong. Because I just think you keep saying like, yeah, it's Marvel. But my whole thing is he went and got Marvel, and when he got Marvel, Marvel wasn't popping like that. Like that's the whole thing. When he got Marvel wasn't popping like that. Like when Iron Man came out, like Iron Man, they thought it would be decent, but they didn't know it was gonna be a phenomenon. You know what I mean? Like when they got because that's why it was available, yo. Like he went out and got this stuff. He went out and overpaid to get the Star Wars universe. Like he went out and made moves. So if anything, that's my thing. I think he's gonna make moves. He might scale people back. He might make some. They might fail. They might do whatever. But it isn't just gonna be like, let me just keep pumping out Marvel series. Let me keep pumping out Star Wars series. He's gonna make a move somewhere, somehow. That's all.
I mean, they're gonna need other products besides Marvel and Star Wars, or we're gonna keep getting Marvel shows and Star Wars shows and nothing else. Because, like I said, we grew up on cartoons. We never go back and watch a Mickey Mouse cartoon. You know, they have some.
But guess what? Mickey Mouse, I'm going to motherfucking Disney World in motherfucking March, and guess what? Mickey Mouse is motherfucking still eating my pockets to this day.
Oh, facts.
From
yo.
1920 to 2000. Like you said, I don't go back watch Mickey Mouse. Guess what? He don't need that. Like
They
Mickey
don't.
Mouse
That's what
is
I'm
still
saying.
in
Like,
my
even though
pockets.
Universal, they got all the Marvel theme shit. You know what I'm saying? Star Wars shit, Harry
Actually,
Potter.
I got to piss real quick. Y'all
Wait a minute, hold up. Don't piss.
Yo, I gotta
We
go.
are going to cut this short because this is definitely a conversation for another podcast.
Yeah,
Let's
it
cut
is,
this short.
it is.
We've already given our ratings. I gave it a 7, Phenom an 8, Ali an 8. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will continue this conversation again. Thank you for watching. Anyway, this is it. Hit like, subscribe. We're good.
All right. You made this
Peace
one.
out, everybody. Thank you for watching.
You can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that.
I gotta get my
You
house.
can get
I gotta
with this,
clean up.
or you can get with
I
that.
got somebody
I think
coming
you'll
to
get
clean my house
with this
before
because
kids got
this
the
is where it's
Okay,
at.
yeah, man, go
You can
ahead.
get
I'll
with
let
this,
Ali know
or
you
you
have to
can
get
get with
out.
that.
'Cause,
You can get
yeah, I
with
got to get
this,
out
or
too.
you
But
can
he's
get
on
with
my
that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you'll get with this because this is where it's at. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you'll get with this because this is where it's at. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you'll get with this because this is where it's at. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you'll get with this because